AEW Revolution. I'm going to preview at least the easier episodes, the easier matches to review, such as Jake Hager versus Dustin Rhodes. Now, that goes all the way back to episode 1 of Dynamite, where the Inner Circle and the Elite faced. Moxley isn't part of the Elite, yet is facing off against Jericho, but there's still Elite and Elite Wrestling feuding. I mean, Inner Circle feuding. Dustin came out after, top out the Elite after. I don't know, they consider QT Marshall part of the Nightmare family, but I don't know. I guess Dustin Rhodes is too. I'm not sure about the Elite. Because Cody has both. So Dustin, after that Cody 5-star match, I guess, yeah, Dustin made a 5-star match despite his age. Pretty good. Bloody match, highly praised. Same day as the Young Bucks Lucha Bros match. They faced each other. And then Dustin came out after they respected each other after the match. To help out Cody after the beatdown by the Inner Circle. Jake Hager then made his debut on the first episode of AEW Dynamite. Cody then challenged Chris Jericho being the number one contender, partially because he's the owner, but the storyline too, because like he wanted to show that he was desirable, etc. You know the slogan. Well, look at the match show though. Why don't they do the Elite as a database? I don't know they have synopsis for every week. He didn't have a match that week. Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes showed up. Next week, Darby Allin will show up, and then the Elite would have momentum. The Young Bucks didn't have a lot of wins throughout most of the match, throughout most of 2019, and then they had this momentum after January 2020. That's gonna even write make an article just based on all the synopses. Before the pay-per-view, Hager would injure Dustin Rhodes' arm, damaging it in a car, right during the contract signing. And then Cody Rhodes would talk about how he wasn't the title one, it was Chris Jericho and his dad, which was on Thanksgiving. And then with the silver spoon, and then he gets screwed by MJF, which we'll talk about later. They would feud with interference in the first week of 2020, where Dustin Rhodes, when Hager interferes in Guevara's match against Dustin Rhodes, giving Guevara a winning record to start off 2020. Dustin would then win against Guevara later, and then challenge Hager, calling him B-word for not challenging anyone. Would then Hager hasn't wrestled as a result of his MMA contract. I still think Jeff Cobb could show up and replace Hager as a bounty hunter, and then we see a match between those two. If Hager does debut, I don't think he's going to lose his first match, since he was a former world champ, while Dustin Rhodes was like a wrestler from the 70s and 80s. I don't know, he's had hype. Sam Raimi's thought that he would win in the latest result. We shall see. What are your thoughts? Onto other predictions. Nyla Rose versus Statlander. Chris Statlander debuted. Let me see your match database. Yeah, she has a gimmick of an alien, which isn't that well surprised. accepted, but like feel like a wrestling style. She's probably had a bunch of matches on the indie scene, which we'll probably see like shown up. She still wrestle on indies with being AEW. She won the number one contendership against Britt Baker, 9 minutes 34 seconds, December 18th, 2019. She would face Rio January 8th, 2020, making her the number one contender. She and Hikaru Shida defeated the Nightmare Collective of Brandy Rose and Mel after Animation Con could not show up. Beat Diamante on AEW Dark 20, AEW Dynamite 20. She defeated Shana. She never really goes for a number one contendership, but like she's been facing Kong on and off versus the debut. People were thinking like Statlander might win because like she had all that momentum for the writing, but then again, so did Baker, and then she ended up being a heel. She beat Baker AEW Dynamite number 12. Beat Rhea Priestley AEW Dark number 11. Beat Hikaru Shida AEW Dynamite number 10. Which is quite a surprise considering that I thought Shida. I don't think Shida lost a single match prior to that. Shida and Statlander will lose to Rhea Priestley and Emi Sakura Dynamite number 9, which is pretty surprising considering Shida rarely loses. Like this was promoted Sakura's match against Riho. Rhea Priestley is also rarely using matches. Britt Baker and Riho will beat Swole and Statlander. AEW Dark episode 7. Brian Cage will beat Chris Statlander. Bar Wrestling number 46. In any case, I swore she faced amazing. Awesome. No, awesome. I'm sorry. Nyla Rose a lot more often than that. But probably she hasn't. The two of the biggest brawling, it would be hard hitting with the Samoa Joe running stomps and all the Nyla Rose power bombs and stuff. Give her the find. I don't think Nyla Rose is going to lose this early. Let me see Nyla Rose's database. She's lost a lot of matches. Probably to preserve Riho and etc.'s stuff. She has a background in judo and taekwondo. I don't recall if she really kicking or whatever. She doesn't have anything on the database for Cajun match. She can power bomb like Kevin Nash had the fine thing. Let's see what it says on an AEW. I think she's part Native American. She debuted against Britt in Double Nothing, facing Britt Baker, Kylie Ray, and later Awesome Kong. Baker pit Ray in the first match. Firefest, she faced Riho and Yuka Sakazaki, where Riho would win, and I thought that was for the title, probably not. She won the Casino Battle Royale at All Out to become AEW World Championship number 1 contender. Riho defeated Rose on the debuting episode of Dynamite. Attacked Riho for the match. Can't find her history. She had another ring name called Debbie Kong. Either way, I don't see Nyla. Her win-loss record isn't that much better than she does a lot of beatdowns instead of wins, but like otherwise, I don't really see her losing against Chris Statlander in the first match. It would be like her first defense. Maybe they really think the ratings have been really bad, but I don't know. I haven't seen the quarter breakdowns. Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara. Sammy Guevara debuted in one of the pre-shows against, I believe, Chris Sabian before he had the super bad gimmick. Where he does vlogs with his camera, the Spanish God. They tease him being basically the male wife of Chris Jericho. There's been a lot less of that in 2020. In 2019, he had no wins. 2020, he debuted, as I said, with the win over Dustin Rhodes. Has phenomenal matches. The Code Red or Destroyer movie is very good from Dustin Rhodes. He's since lost some matches, probably breaking even. Could really use a win. However, Darby Allin just has all these video packages and skateboard. He's been beat down by a skateboard by Sammy Guevara in a post-match thing. Also might get involved in the Jake Hager match. They might tease them together and then have Cobb interfere and then have those two wrestle and beat down Darby Allin. I still see Darby Allin winning. Darby Allin was the first guy to face Jericho for the title in Dynamite. There was a Cody Rhodes at Fyter Fest time limit draw. Forgot about that. Fight for Fun. Teamed with Jimmy Havoc and Joey Janela. It's a hardcore team against MJF, Sean Spears, and Sammy Guevara. Pretty interesting that MJF tagged with Sammy Guevara. They never end up being in the Inner Circle together. Sammy Guevara debuted facing Cody Rhodes on Dynamite. The first match ever, which really hyped him up. Didn't really win a match out of that. In All Out, Allin faced Havoc and Janela in a three-way match, where Havoc won after they three teamed up. Allin would lose to the interference by Jake Hager. He would also accept Jon Moxley's open challenge, but get defeated by him. I think it was put in like a garbage bag at one point. He also faced Moxley in a rematch for number one contendership for Chris Girl's title. He's been the number one contendership a lot of the time. There's only timing before we finally see him face off against him. So his one loss is very good too. Him, Chris Jericho, and Jon Moxley probably have the best win-loss records of all AEW. It's the only time when he finally faces them. That's another idea for a three-way match. Shall see. What are your thoughts? Like and subscribe. I'll talk about the other matches later.